How relevant is this?
Vedant is the most relevant in today's generation. I'll tell you why.
What can we learn from the Upanishads that will help us to deal with this stress, with this anxiety, with this uncertainty?
Uncertainty is not something you can ever control. Your relationship with uncertainty changes. Even the content that we absorb, we can absorb good content.
Good content. Yes,
there
exactly.
is good content like our channels. God is always with everyone. कोई सुनना ही नहीं चाहता है.
मम्मी का ही सुनता नहीं.
हाँ.
Hari Om and welcome to Stories and Chants, where we bring ancient Indian wisdom to you through storytelling, chanting, and a bit of laughter. Today we are talking about Indian knowledge systems, Vedanta, and more. How their timeless teachings can still be applied today when you're stuck in traffic, dealing with Monday meetings, or just trying to survive the chaos of modern life. Don't worry, this isn't a lecture. We have got someone special with us today, and she blends ancient wisdom with modern insights effortlessly, authentically, and with a lot of heart. She is known for her workshops, interviews, and popular online videos that demystify the profound teachings of Vedanta, making ancient Indian knowledge systems accessible, relevant, and practical for today's world. Hari Om Dimpleji, thank you so much for being here with us in Stories and Chants. Since we more or less do the same thing, so I thought it'd be very interesting to have a conversation with you. So thank you so much for coming here.
Thank you so much for getting me here. And you're right, we have a lot of similarities starting from Chinmaya mission to Vedanta to content creation. So very glad to be a part of this.
In case there's a person who has not been introduced to any Indian philosophy, he does not know what Vedanta is, he does not know what Hinduism is. How will you explain?
If we look at Vedant, this word also a lot of people are not aware what is Vedant.
Mm-hmm.
So the word, if you look at it, it can be divided into two parts, Ved and Anta. Right? So it is the ending, Ved Anta, ending of the Vedas or the conclusion of the Vedas. So we know in Vedas, there are two sections. One is Karma Kand and one is Jnana Kand. Karma Kand is the ritualistic section. Where yajna, sacrifices, mantras, all those things are focused on. And in the Jnana Kanda, which is the Vedantic section, that is where what we are talking about Vedanta. It is a knowledge section of the Vedas which focuses on consciousness.
So the Upanishads.
Upanishads,
yes.
That is basically Vedanta. So if you look at what are the main scriptures of Vedanta, you would know that those are the 10 Upanishads, the Gita, Bhagavad Gita, and the Brahma Sutras.
Yeah.
So that is the Vedanta. If I had to explain it to somebody, they know what is Vedas. So in Vedas, the knowledge section is what is Vedanta. As simple as that.
Yeah. So many people think Vedanta as such is only for monks. But how relevant is this in modern times?
I feel that Vedanta is the most relevant in today's generation. I'll tell you why. Because Vedanta is very logical, very rational. And today's generation, they are always looking for answers, always looking for logic. They are not the generation which will believe on blind faith.
Yes.
They're always asking why this ritual, why Ganpati has an elephant. Why? I think that Vedanta is the perfect thing for today's upcoming generation because it answers the most fundamental questions in such a scientific way, as you were also saying, right? Straight to the point. They talk about consciousness. They talk about the ultimate reality, where you get strength from. They talk about how to face challenges. What is body, mind, intellect, right? And that is what today's young generation needs. It is the perfect thing for today. It's just more people are not aware about what is Vedanta.
So we are daughters, we are daughter-in-laws, we are mothers.
Yes.
How do we apply Vedantic principles in our daily lives?
Even I have been to the Advait Youth camps and I have studied Atma Bodh, Tattva Bodh from gurus. Applying those principles is not at all easy. Integrating them is not at all easy. So when we are in the ashram, those 10 days are super blissful. But when you come back to reality,
that is where you know that the theory is different, application
is far more difficult. In schools we have theory. and we have practicals.
Yes.
So in the class, the teacher is explaining, the book is there. But when we go to the laboratory to do the experiments, we realize what's going on. How miserable we are at it.
And we are clueless.
Yeah, how
about
to do it.
everything.
Yeah. Thankfully, I have been into Vedanta since the past 15 years.
Oh, wow.
So trial and error. And I think I have got some grip over how we can apply it in our daily lives. There are 3 steps, right, in Vedanta.
Yes.
Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana.
Yes.
So definitely it starts with Shravana, by reading the scriptures, by learning it from an acharya, and then reflecting. Manana and Nididhyasana is, I think these are the 2 stages which are the most important. You reflect upon it. How do I apply this something as simple as surrender or detachment in my daily life? Because attachment is so easy. I just recently made a reel of it, how detachment is practiced. Because relationships, when we are a mother, we are so close to our children,
Yes.
to family and people, and even to situations and work and careers. So easy to get
Very.
attached because we put in so much efforts in it. We learn that detachment is so important, but yeah, these things are also important. How do we detach? So I realized, to detach from something, we need to first attach ourselves to something higher, which is more stable. Like if we attach ourselves to God, or we attach ourselves to our center, towards a true self, then that is stable. If we have a lot of faith in God, we know that's not going to fail us. Then detaching from other things becomes easier. And if anything goes wrong, we are okay because we have a footing.
Yes.
We have a stable grounding. So that is one important lesson I have learned. To detach, you need to first attach. To something which is more stable. Because if you are so much energy that we are putting in the work and everything, then it's difficult to leave it.
In life, not everybody believe in God. And not everybody believe in themselves. That belief in oneself is more like a mirage. You think you believe in yourself, but you actually don't believe in yourself.
Yeah.
So those kind of people, what is the first step that they can take to start out on this journey?
You're very right. So a lot of people don't believe in God, don't believe in themselves. It is the mirage, as you said. There are so many levels, there's so many layers to it, that I think the first thing is starts with awareness, Whom are you believing in? Because as humans, we do believe in something.
Yes.
So is it that you're believing in your work too much? Where are you getting the validation from? Are you getting your validation from what other people are telling you? Are you getting your validation by the number of likes you are getting on social media? Are you getting your validation with the amount of money you have in your bank balance? Where is your belief system then? First, become aware of that. And you will see, if you put your belief, a lot of belief in your bank balance, it's not going to be always stable.
Yes.
What happens when it becomes unstable? If you put a lot of belief in your relationships, we know how temporary those relationships are, how it can backfire any moment. So all these things are temporary. So just reflecting on it, because if you put a lot of belief in your friend, this person is always with me no matter what. Something goes wrong, that person is not answering, that person is busy, that person has fallen sick. Now, no foundation. Now you've completely lost. So all these things, whether it is a relationship or whether it is work, wherever you have put your belief system, become aware of it. Because that is where we naturally, as humans, put our trust in our family, in our parents. And sometimes they are not available. Sometimes they don't understand us. Then what happens to your foundation? Then you're completely shaken. Then you break down. And that is slowly you realize that in so many places you're putting your trust and you're breaking down. And then you realize that there is only one place. It is maybe in your own self you find. Can you believe in your own self? If things fall down, if relationships break up, can you stand up on your own? You cannot fail your own self in the end.
Yes.
And the same thing with God. If you believe in God, no matter what happens, He is always with you. He's not going to fail you. Slowly, with every experiences, we realize this. Even if we don't believe in ourselves, if you're just aware with every experience, then also we can come back to believing in ourselves, because that is eventually what is happening. It's written in the books. As you grow up, you realize how temporary external things are and external validations are. It is going to shake you up someday or the other.
So one more practice could also be having a higher purpose.
Yes.
So even if you don't believe in God, if you have a higher purpose, something that is not related to the self, it's not very selfish.
Yes.
It's more like you're doing something for others, for their betterment, for the society. I think if you have an ideal like that, that also helps a lot.
Definitely, yes. You know, when you're working for a bigger cause, like dharma, you know, like a Hanumanji,
Yes.
and for Ram Sita he did. So no matter what obstacle is coming, you know, he's always ready for it because he's not doing it for himself. This is also what is happening. A lot of people becoming selfish, you know, doing it for me, or for my family
Yes.
continuously. And then something goes wrong again. So having like doing it for the society, doing it for a particular generation, doing it for the country.
Yeah.
That way, if you keep raising your bar, then the smaller things which is happening in your life will not affect you so much.
Yes. People are very anxious. Everything is moving so fast. Stress is increasing. Anxiety is increasing. So what can we learn from the Upanishads that will help us to deal with the stress, with this anxiety, with this uncertainty?
Uncertainty is not something you can ever control. It's just that your relationship with uncertainty changes.
Yes.
You become okay with it. Life is uncertain. I'm okay with it. First, it's like, oh my God, what's going to happen? You start trusting the process now. So that is the reason for calmness.
Yes.
Actually.
Yeah.
It's not that
trust.
I know what's going to happen next. I don't know. We don't know, right?
Yeah.
But it's just we have become more comfortable with life.
Shraddha aa gayi hai life mein.
जो भी हो रहा है अच्छे के लिए ही हो रहा है. So that kind of confidence, that kind of faith once you have, you automatically, the anxiety, the stress and everything reduces. The body, mind and speech, when all the three are aligned, you will see life becomes so much easier. With lying. People are just lying like it's nothing. And then you have to remember what you said to which
whom?
person. And that is causing more stress to you.
Yes.
Why don't you just think also the same, speak also the same, and behave all the same? Life becomes so much easier and simpler.
We have been given opportunity to align these three when we are doing our rituals.
It's very powerful, right? The rituals, the chanting of the mantras, if you're chanting it right, the agarbatti smell, the deepak, the flower smell, you know, all of that create an ambience that you automatically get into that flow, that energy, you know, into that divinity flow.
Agarbatti jalao. So you're engaging your sense of smell. Ab diya jalao, sight, right? And flowers, touch. And smell again. So even when you do your Naivedya, you keep the food in front of Bhagavan. You have prepared it with him in mind.
With love.
With love. And you do your Naivedya. You are offering, you're giving away. So there itself you are selfless.
Sacrifice, that surrender.
Yes.
All of
and
that.
Then you get that prasad back with
and
blessings.
And then taste even sweeter. Have you noticed that?
All prasad. You don't, it doesn't matter which temple you go to.
Yeah.
Any temple's prasad is so much more better.
Sweeter,
Every sense of yours is so focused. People don't realize that the point of the ritual is only that. So that is one of the first steps. Ask why. Why am I doing this?
Curiosity, in fact, is one of the foundation of Vedanta.
Yes.
You know, because in Vedanta, they always encourage ask questions. Do not accept anything blindly. Your God has given you intelligence. Question it. Why you're accepting just because the gurus also say this, the acharyas say this. Just because I am saying it, don't take it and don't accept it. You ask question, are you satisfied with the answer or not? Even in Bhagavad Gita, it's full question and answer.
Yeah.
Many Upanishads are like that. Prashna Upanishad hai. Pura Upanishad is question and answer hai. And that is the beauty of Sanatan Dharma, right? Because we encourage questions. You see, in none of the religions, questions are encouraged.
Allowed.
They're not allowed. They see it as a threat. We are allowing questioning because they know that they themselves has questioned it so much. They have debated it so much for thousands of years. They have pramanas. They have not accepted any facts in any of the school of philosophy before, you know, seeing whether it passes the pramana or not. there is perception, there is inference, there is analogy, so many ways. सारे level clear होने के बाद, okay, now what you're saying makes sense. It is rational, it is logical. It's not fantasy thinking. That is the beautiful part about Vedanta.
Which is why I call it very scientific.
Yes.
Because you have to prove all of this for you to believe in what you are doing. The Upanishads, they talk about this principle, neti neti. Not this, not this. So in this modern life, with so much of social media, so much of media influences that are there, how do we apply this?
So neti neti means not this, right? So it is used, this method is used to understand the Atman, the Brahman, right? So what is consciousness? So we say it is not the body. It is not the senses. It is not the mind. It is not the intellect. That way you keep on negating, and in the end, whatever remains, that pure awareness, that is consciousness. That is what Neti Neti method is.
Yes.
Now, we can apply this method in our daily lives, like in social media, because today so much people are using it. And we take validation.
Yes.
We both being content creators, I'm sure you must have experienced it, that when you create a content, based on how much likes you get, what kind of comments you get, it's very easy to associate our worthiness based on that likes,
yes,
based on that comments. And that's when I realized, okay, this is so trapping us into believing what others like and what they don't like. And with the young generation, it is causing so much chaos.
Yes.
If they don't get likes, their entire confidence falls down. And if they get too many likes, they feel on top of the world. So they're continuously wavering because of that.
And social media has made this image of what looks good, what does not look good. And then you have to strive to look good according to how the social media expects you to look.
Exactly.
So physical appearance has become such a major thing in young teens or young adults that it's literally eating away time and money. This is where we can apply the neti,
that I am not the number of followers I have.
Yes.
I am not the number of likes I get. I am not the comments I get, not the DMs I get. I am not the brand collaborations I get. No,
yes.
You don't get to decide who I am. I know who I am.
Yes.
So you first decide your worth and then you put out the content. So it will not matter.
Exactly.
Whether even if the page goes away, it doesn't matter because your foundation is so strong. And this is something very essential today because everybody's on social media deciding their worth based on other people's validation.
Yeah, exactly.
And that is messing up with their head so much.
But when you actually go down to applying it, is when you realize how tough it is to let go, because neti neti also means that I don't need this, so I am letting go of this. One part of your mind tells you that, yes, I am ready to let go, but the other part clings.
True. That is again when, I think Swami Tejamananji says this very well. Don't fight with the mind. Just observe it. Become a witness. Sakshi bhav se dekho. It happens. It troubles. I know as a content creator, you must have seen that. Something we put in so much effort doesn't go well.
Yes.
It does affect us a little bit. But don't get affected by that affectedness. It's called as metacognition. You observe your own thought. You observe your own emotions. अच्छा इससे मुझे इतना इफेक्ट हो रहा है क्यों just observe it.
Yes.
Whatever is happening, the moment you observe it as a witness, it falls away.
Follow things that gives you a purpose, that teaches you, that has a meaning, that makes you look forward for something that is higher.
Even the content that we absorb, we can absorb good content.
Good content, yes,
there
exactly.
Is good content like our channels. If you have to absorb content, absorb good content rather than TikTok and all the silly videos. When you are on the phone getting lost, okay, Dimple, it's time up. Keep the phone
down.
So you have to play that role of a watcher and tell yourself, keep
teacher.
The phone. Teacher. You have to tell yourself.
Exactly.
I actually say it loudly to myself. My son is watching.
Time हो गया है.
मम्मी मुझे बोल रही है कि खुद को बोल रही है my son.
People usually say, if you walk the spiritual path, you stop enjoying life. It becomes very dull. It becomes boring. And ये भी बोलते हैं कि ये क्या है, ये सब ज्ञान, ये सब पढ़ने का, you have to do it after your 60s and 70s. This is not the time for you to do it.
वंडरफुल क्वेश्चन फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल. बहुत लोग बोलते हैं यार अभी क्यों स्पिरिचुअलिटी, रिटायरमेंट के बाद करेंगे.
Yes.
You have wasted your whole life, living in an handicap way when you could have lived so beautifully. And then after 60, you're touching upon books. Those are self-help books. Those are books which are telling you how to live your life more efficiently. And after 60, you want to read it. That means you have wasted your life.
It is like, how can you become detached when you have learned 60 years of attachment?
Yeah.
Suddenly you can't get detached.
And in fact, sorry.
Yeah.
In fact, spirituality, I feel, if you do it properly, it doesn't make you boring and dull. It makes you live your life to the fullest.
Exactly.
You can enjoy life so much more. It's just, I feel, people are getting confused about what is true enjoyment. They associate it with drinking, with dancing, with alcohol, with partying and clubbing. And because spiritual people are not clubbing and drinking, they think that they are boring. But the thing is, that is not what defines enjoyment. The thing is, if it's raining, are you able to simply go and dance without drinking?
Yes.
There your inhibitions come.
Yeah.
So you are dancing only when you are high on some substance. You look at spiritual people, you put on some music, they put on some kirtan, they are enjoying.
Dance, yes.
Yeah.
So the music is different. It is not party or club
They are
music,
enjoying.
but it is still music.
Yes.
And they are present in that moment.
Yes.
And they're so involved in those songs. That itself is enjoyment.
Exactly. And one more thing I have noticed is that when you're more into spirituality and these practices, you trust the process so much and you're so comfortable with uncertainty as to what is going to happen next. There's a wonderful example which happened with me. When we travel outside, we have this whole itinerary planned from morning to night, what I have to do, catch a train, then catch a bus, then this and this and this. But we know when we go to travel, things never go as planned. The trains are late, the buses are late, the luggage is here and there. Things go haywire.
Yes.
So at that time, if you have spirituality, okay, things are messing around, no problem. Train is 2 hours late. I will have a chai nice. I'll have some snacks and I'll enjoy this time in the station. But the people who are not into this, who don't know how to live in the present moment, who are not comfortable with uncertainty, always anxious, what will happen? Oh no, train is late now, what my vacation and this and that. They're not enjoying. You are wasting your such precious days of life and waiting to learn spirituality after 60 and living in a handicapped way when you can live so beautifully. Why not study detachment? Why not study surrender?
There is no age for spirituality. So many of our Upanishads themselves, when you see Kathopanishad or Prashnopanishad, they are children who are asking questions. Nachiketa is just about 6-7 years old and he goes to Yamraja's land and he is asking, so where is age in this?
And the earlier you learn, the better life you live.
Exactly.
The happier life you live, the more stress-free life you live.
And it is not necessary for us to go into Himalayas. Or it is not necessary for us to wear yellow robes or orange robes for us to walk the spiritual path.
Not at all.
We can be in that present moment as a householder, as a professional, as a mother, as a father. Anything, any role that you are playing, you can be present in that moment. That,
of course, that is spirituality. We don't have to become monks or go to Himalayas. You look at Ramayana, you look at Mahabharata, look at Krishna, look at Ram. They were normal individuals.
Yes.
They were kings, princes.
They were husbands, they were
families, fathers. And to them, Krishna taught Bhagavad Gita. To Arjuna, he taught Bhagavad Gita. So he is teaching it to the most important, because we have so many things to do. And that is the reason we need these tools.
Yes. To help us to go through this samsara.
Yes. Smoothly.
How does Vedantic principles help us to improve our relationships? We have so many. It is not only something that is home related. So we have friends, we have got work, we've got bosses, we've got subordinates, then we've got our children, then we have our relationship as a spouse, then we also have sibling relationship, we have son-daughter relationship. So how does Vedantic principles help us to improve and become better in all of those relationships?
Vedanta says that the most important relationship is your relationship with yourself. If your relationship with your own self is good, is grounded, is stable, then all your relationships will become better. You know, we try ki nahi, let's improve this, and we put efforts and we watch videos ki, okay, how to talk this and that. But nobody's teaching you that your relationship with yourself, how is that? Because that is the foundation.
Yes.
Because you know what Vedant says, that the world outside is a mirror.
Hmm.
You know, it reflects what you have inside you.
Of you. Yes.
So what is it inside? Pehle wo to dekho.
Hmm.
What we are trying to do is, we are continuously cleaning the mirror and hoping that it will show a better picture. Instead, if there is something stuck in my hair, I cannot keep cleaning it in the mirror. It will not go away.
Exactly.
I have to remove it from my hair. Then it will reflect in the mirror.
लेकिन मिरर को देख के हाँ कुछ है
पता
and use
चलेगा.
that.
Yes,
So watch
yes.
that.
Yes.
So watch
So-
what is happening outside.
Haan.
Then you will get
then
an
you
idea.
can fix yourself.
Exactly.
Very true. That is what helps in relationships, you know. So when you talk with people, interact with family, friends, you know, there are certain triggers
Hmm.
you realize.
Hmm.
And it is in that interaction with someone you realize, I'm getting triggered.
Hmm.
Then why is it triggering me? Then you reflect.
Yes.
Something is off.
Hmm.
Something he said or she said is hurting.
Hurting me.
Why? I need to fix something in me. Otherwise, why would it hurt?
Exactly.
The moment you fix those wounds, you heal those wounds, your relationship with the outside world starts getting better. Because it is always starts with you.
You. But to get to the point where you start saying that I need to fix me
Hmm.
before I have to fix somebody else, that point is also very difficult to, you have to let go of that ego
Yes.
of I am right, that person is wrong and she
Hmm.
said wrong or he said wrong, I am right. तो वो let go करने का है.
Yeah.
For us to find out, because we are changing our lives, we are not changing other people's lives. So for us to change our lives, we have to accept that हाँ, कुछ किया होगा, मैंने भी कुछ किया होगा. So take that,
Correct.
accept that. ताली दो हाथ से ही बजती है.
Very true. In a
So-
relationship, arguments are bound to happen. And
It
that
is natural.
we need to like take it as lesson to work
Exactly.
on
Where
ourselves.
can I become better? What
Yeah.
triggered me? So that question of what triggered me will come only when you say, okay, maybe
Mm.
I am also involved in this. I am also to be blamed for this.
Yes.
So once you do that, then okay, then how can I correct myself?
Most of them are reactive, you know.
Yes.
We are reacting. The moment someone says, we react, we react, we react. We are not stopping to respond, as you said, right?
Exactly.
If you take a few breaths, you immediately come to your center and then you respond instead of reacting. And that moment itself, the relationship, the arguments,
Changes.
everything changes.
Changes. And for the better.
Yes. Every time you talk to someone, you are sharing a part of you.
Yes.
And you can, I have noticed this, you know, there are some people who are always negative, always complaining.
Hmm.
There are some people who are always positive, always happy.
Hmm.
Some people who are always angry. Smallest of the thing, they get angry. So, you know, I have realized people only give out what is within them.
Yes.
So what is inside you is what is going to come out. You know, if you have a bottle of water, you squeeze it, water is going to come out.
Exactly.
So what is it that you're carrying inside? That is going to reflect outside. So fix that first is what I feel.
what is the one Vedic or Vedantic principle that you have applied in life that has really helped you?
I'll tell two things.
Okay.
One is the easier one, which people will understand. And another is a little complicated.
Okay.
Okay. So one easier thing is saying the truth always.
Hmm.
And the integration of body, mind and speech. From childhood, you know, I had done my yoga teacher's training. तो
Yeah.
उसमें यम नियम में आता है सत्य.
हाँ, yes.
That is something I always stuck to, you know, no matter what.
Hmm.
Whether whatever it is, I'll speak the truth. I just can't. So I have realized by something as simple as this, something as foundational as this, can actually progress your spiritual journey.
Yes.
And people think that spirituality, Vedanta, is something very complicated, that you have to do so much sadhana. No. In your daily life, are you even speaking the truth? Are you even thinking good about the other people?
Hmm.
So another thing is that I try not to think negative about anyone.
Hmm.
Somehow, I always find a way to see good in somebody. It is something so simple. And I have seen that has, you know, without even me realizing, it is progressing me spiritually.
Yes.
I have never done any sort of intense sadhana. These two and surrender.
Hmm.
This is a little complicated one. a little difficult. Very difficult, to be honest. But
Yes.
it is something I have done from the beginning.
Mm.
And when I say surrender, this word is, people say surrender the fruits of your action. But for me, I don't know, from the beginning, I have surrendered all my actions.
Mm.
I always ask God, what do you want me to do? You tell me, I'll do that.
Yeah.
And He never gives an easy answer. He will always tell me to do something which is so difficult that the
Yes.
people around me will never understand. My
Mm.
family will not understand. My society will not understand. My friends will not understand. And, like choosing the career paths that I have chosen, shifting from engineering to philosophy, I wanted to do PhD after master's in philosophy because that's the norm.
Yes.
But he's like, no, you need to go to ashrams and study. And then I was like, okay, I did that. Now let me start teaching. No, you need to do social media. Like, I'm too old to get into social media. So he always tells me to do things which are not very usual.
Mm.
And it's not been easy.
Mm.
But I always listen. So when I say him, I mean there is an inner voice which everyone has,
Yes.
a gut feeling, an intuition. We don't listen to it, but it is always guiding you in the
Yes.
right direction.
Yes.
Because we are so used to listening to people outside, to the society and the usual ways of progressing.
Mm.
We never listen to what's coming from inside.
Inside.
That is something I have followed from the beginning. And I never knew where it is heading me. When I did my master's in philosophy, I faced a lot of backlash from my
Yes.
father, from my, of course, because they want the best for me. I have finally come to forgive all of that. But I understand it was not easy for them, neither for me. But I always take life as a game, I never take it so seriously.
Yeah.
Jo hoga dekha jayega. He's taking care.
Yes.
He's told me to do this, I'll do this no matter what. And so this kind of surrender, I feel, has really changed everything for me. And there comes a point then, you keep surrendering to God for so many years. And there comes a time then God says, okay, now you don't need to do anything. I will take care. So that's the best. Ab kuch nahi karna, wo dekhenge. Itna kar liya na, now it's my job.
Amazing.
So I think these practices have really helped me.
That's really very good. And it's very practical. It sounds very hard, but when you start doing it and when you start applying it little by little by little, then it becomes very easy.
True. It's every choice you make every time. And eventually you come at a point, then this life is just magical after that point.
It is just that first step that is the most tough.
So that he waits for you to, are you doing it? Do you trust me? Do you have faith? So he waits to see that. And if you show him faith, then he's like, oh, you're my best kid. Come now, I'll show you the path.
Very well said. True.
It's like how in class we are now. The teacher is telling something, do this way. Some students listen, some don't. The student who is listening, okay, you said, teacher, I'll do my homework. Favorite student. Now I'll give you good marks. It's like that,
True.
But people are not listening. That's the problem. God is always with everyone. कोई सुनना ही नहीं चाहता है.
मम्मी का ही सुनता नहीं.
हाँ. Friends are more important. What to do?
Mummy is going on. Background music के जैसे चालू है, लेकिन nobody listens.
Yeah, true. Happens with me too.
So if somebody wants to start this journey, what would be the simplest first step for them to take?
Yeah. When we say this journey, I'm focusing on Vedanta. Okay, so in Vedanta, we have this 3-step process. Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana. Start with Shravana always.
Mummy ki baat suno.
So in Shravana, it starts with reading the scriptures.
Yes.
Right? Yes. And the acharyas, right? So scriptures, when I say people, because there are so many scriptures again in Vedanta, there's a confusion. Kahan se shuru kare? So I feel Tattva Bodh, people who are very logical, who wants to get to the ultimate real content, kya hai, cut the crap, everything. Go to Tattva Bodh. You know,
Yes.
that will open up what is exactly going on in consciousness inside your body, mind, intellect, how it functions, what is gross body, subtle body, sub.
Some definition, it's like a book of
Yeah,
definitions, like
yeah,
it
yeah.
explains everything so clearly.
So clearly.
So after that also, if you do Bhagavad Gita or any other text,
it becomes easier to
easy.
understand.
Yes.
And then there is Holy Gita by Swami Chinmayanand Ji.
Yes.
Gita explained through the lens of Vedant by Swami
Yes,
Chinmayanand Ji. That is
yes.
also very beautiful. So you can start with that. And then, yes, Chinmaya Mission, you know, they have so many courses going on online, offline. Find out the Chinmaya Mission ashrams near yours. They
Yeah.
are in more than 300 cities,
And
right?
they have for all age groups.
Yes.
It's not as if, okay, I'm 30, they'll not have something for me.
Mm.
They have programs for
Yes.
all, right from the age of 2 or 3 to the age of 70, 80. They have
How
programs.
amazing is that? We are not making use of it. So somebody who wants to start it, definitely start with going to Chinmaya Mission. You'll get the right books over there. You'll get the right people over there. You'll get the
Exactly.
right courses over there.
Guides.
And satsang, I feel, is very important.
Very important.
With what kind of people are you hanging out?
Yes.
One spiritual person also, you find one right person, that person will change the course of your life.
Very true.
Yeah. So I think that is where we need to start.
Very true. How do we make all of this more practical than intellectual? Like you said, that we have to start reading books, Shravanam, listening, reading for us to go into Nididhyasana. How do we make it more practical?
Such a beautiful question. Thank you for asking this. You know, people who get into Vedant is like a trap, you know, because Vedant is very intellectual, very logical. So people who are rational, they are enjoying it so much. Reading,
Exactly.
logic pe logic, rationality pe arguments, counter arguments, enjoying so much. They get so lost, you know, that I read these many scriptures.
Huh.
I know these many shlokas. I know these many this. You know, at some point, you have to apply it.
Yes.
Yoga, Paramahansa Yoganand Ji, Ramana Maharshi also says this, that read little, apply more, meditate most. थोड़ा भी पढ़ लोगे ना, आप एक बुक भी अच्छे से पढ़ लिया, and if you apply it in your life, it's enough. You don't need to read 100 books. You don't need to know 100 shlokas. Are you integrating it? That is the biggest question. Because Vedant, in the end, it's darshana. The philosophy is a Western word. Darshana is an Indian word. Darshan means you should get the darshan of God. It's not in the books. You apply it so much that you get that darshan.
Yes.
Not
True.
in temples, but in real life. और वो तभी आएगा जब तुम इंटीग्रेट करोगे in every moment in your every day.
Yes.
तभी वो दर्शन मिलेगा. So it's very important to get out. And you know, my Guruji, Dharamraj Ji, which is in Arunachal, you know, he says a very beautiful thing. I always remember this. That truth jo hai, ultimate truth, you know, it's like a razor's edge, you know. If you go into ritualism, you fall into, you know, become dogmatic, you become religious, too much into all of that, into bhakti. And if a little bit you tilt here, you get into intellectual stuff, reading so many books and this and shlokas and mantras and all of that. But in neither of them you'll find the truth. So you have to constantly be aware,
Yes.
walk on that razor's edge and not falling here or there.
There.
That is where the truth is. Constantly be mindful of it. He says it very beautifully.
Very, very beautifully put. So
Yeah.
again, awareness.
Yeah,
Yeah,
awareness.
with full awareness, walk the path,
Yes.
which is razor sharp, but
razor sharp.
with awareness, you can walk.
Correct.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Dimple Ji, for joining us in Stories and Chants. It was very enlightening to talk to you and share a lot of ideas with you. I had a really good time.
Thank you so much for having me. I too had a very great time with you.